So why cybersecurity then?
Cyber is ever changing, lots of growth, and also just having a new challenge. That's something that really excites me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cyber Revolution podcast. Thanks for joining us yet again. I'm Adam Hewitt, the CEO of Cyber Revolution, and today I'm joined by, yet again, another star student of ours, a current student of ours, Zhara. Zhara, how are you?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Adam. How are you?
Good. Now, I forgot to actually ask you previously before hitting record on this podcast how I pronounce your last name, which is why I didn't say it just. How do I pronounce your last name?
It's Sangor.
Zengel. Zhara Zengel. Right. I should have probably asked you that before hitting record. But that's fine. I wanted to have you on basically because the congratulations is in order. You've just landed yourself your first cybersecurity job, all within just a few months. So really, really well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we'll get into the details of how you did that soon. Before we did, as I always do, I just want to go through a bit of an overview for our new listeners of who this podcast is for and who Cyber Revolution are. So Cyber Revolution, we are Australia's only dedicated cybersecurity training and placement institute. We specialize in finding people their first job in cybersecurity. And over the years, we have been doing this. We've helped hundreds of people get into the industry. But the reason we decided to start a podcast is because so many people keep coming to us each and every day, more and more so we're finding now, asking about what this thing called cybersecurity is all about. How do I crack into the industry? It is a bit of a mysterious industry. You know, we hear a lot about it on the news, but we want to break down some common misconceptions. So the point of this podcast is to do that and really just educate people on what this amazing industry is all about and how you can land your first job in cybersecurity. So if that resonates, keep listening to the podcast. This is for you. All right, Zhara, let's get into it. I want to start from the very beginning, which is where I do with all of our students. Before you even decided to join Cyber Revolution, tell everyone what you were currently doing then. I guess what was the thing that made you start thinking about a career change?
I was doing a delivery operations role. So essentially, I was just scheduling hot water units for delivery and occasionally also arranging installation of those systems as well, just for builders throughout Australia. And I guess kind of like the main reason why I wanted to change is my current company wasn't really offering much progression. It's a very limited management structure. So, being 23, there's, a long career ahead of me. And yeah, it just wasn't able to facilitate the growth that I want to do over the years.
Well, that's exciting. You're so young and now getting into this exciting, booming industry. You must be pretty pumped.
Yeah, it's very exciting, especially just the nature of cybersecurity. Like having that growth, that progression is, definitely something that made me gravitate towards it.
And so how long were you in that old industry that you're in? How long were you in that for?
Yeah, so I was doing my last role for, I believe it's about a year and a half or so.
Yep.
So, it was a good while it lasted, but just limited in some aspects.
Yep. Okay. So why cybersecurity then? What was it that jogged your interest into cybersecurity?
Yeah, so my old role was very repetitive. And so it kind of got to a point where I'm not really learning anything anymore. And cyber is, ever changing and you're always having to learn new things all the time. So that was something I was really, really keen on. And also just the progression aspect of things as well, going with that, being especially a company like CyberCX, lots of room for movement, lots of growth. And also just like having a new challenge. That's something that really excites me. And I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with the learning. But definitely the things that drew me towards it.
Yeah, and obviously as well, your partner Zach, who was a career consultant here, he put you on to us. He was working for us and thought, hey, my partner actually could be interested in this. And so did he came to you with that idea?
Yeah, it was really interesting because, I guess when you're kind of getting to that point when you're in a job and you just, it's, just the usual day to day and, it gets a bit dry at times. And he's kind of listening to me and listening to the people that he was speaking to. And he's like, oh my goodness, my love, why don't you like have a look into this, see what it's all about, it might be something that would be really good for you.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, kind of sparked the idea in my head. And yeah, I was like, well, this is ticking all the boxes of exactly what I want to do. So got out the shower one day. I was like, yeah, how do we do it? Let's go.
I remember Zach reaching out to me and he's like, Adam, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, of course. We jumped on, I think either a Zoom or a phone call. And he's like, I know I've only been working with Cyber Revolution now for, it might have been a month or two, maybe max. But I think it'd be really good for my partner, Zhara. What do you think? And so, oh, tell me a little bit about it. I think we had a first conversation about it. And straight away I knew, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great fit for us and how we like to train students and the type of people we like to bring in, but also a really good fit for cybersecurity. Some of the traits that you've got, you're going to be really, really great within the industry. So it's exciting. And so also, which is exciting, you're our first ever student on our new platform. Not many people know this, but about 2 or 3 months ago, we transitioned off from our old, probably more so outdated platform, which we just found that some of the feedback that we're getting from students was it wasn't as engaging. So what we constantly always look at doing is upgrading our content, because content is very, very important when you're learning something. And so you're our first student on that new platform. And how are you enjoying that?
It's really, really fun having the whole like TV show host kind of dynamic. Yep. They are really funny. Like they, crack a joke every now and then, and it kind of catches you off guard. And it is a really good time. It doesn't really feel like learning when they're, having a bit of a giggle and yep. That sort of thing. So yeah, it's really, really good. I think it's definitely a good structure.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great to hear, because that was the feedback that we got. It can be a little bit on our old platform. You're going through some of the content and, it can be, I guess you can find yourself in there, even if you are really engaged, there is that moment after an hour or two where you start to drift off. And so if the content is engaging, that was the most important thing for us. And so the feedback that we're getting about our new content is really good. Okay, on to the role you've just landed, because that's why we're here. Tell us a little bit more about the role that you've got and what your job title will be.
Yeah, so I'm going down the more consultative route of things. So I've been offered a GRC role, which is governance, risk and compliance. So quite hands-on, from what I understand, helping companies with like their policies, procedures, things like that, just helping them manage cybersecurity threats and such. So that's really exciting and kind of plays hand in hand with my communication skills as well, which all my roles basically have been communication based. So I think that's a really good fit for me.
I think so too. I know our placement partners look for, because everyone's getting into an entry-level role, they don't have cybersecurity skills just yet. It's not so much the technical skills they look for, but it's more so what are the transferable skills that you've had in your previous roles, and how can you bring that straight directly into say, for instance, the GRC consulting role. So you'll absolutely crush it. Not saying that you'll obviously go straight into consulting now, right?
Yeah.
there's a period, where you're working within a new organization, probably for the first 6 months or so, where it's just all shadowing and on the job learning. Are you ready for that? Like, it's going to be, I guess, a huge learning experience over the next 6 months.
Yeah, I think it will be really, really great. I think, especially paired whilst I'm doing the studies as well, being able to have that more kind of hands-on side of things in conjunction to the study. I think that's a really, really great way to learn. The doing and the learning is always a great combination, in my opinion. And I think it's awesome. A great opportunity for sure.
Could not agree more. You're going to be learning a lot, which is why, we reinforce this with all of our students that get jobs early on in their studies. I mean, you've been with us now for about 12 weeks and you're continually getting your certifications. It's important to, yes, focus on the job for probably the next few weeks or so, but still use all of the support that we've got. Who's your student support officer?
Yeah, I have Bella. She's really lovely. She's been really great, sending me so many resources and things like that, which have been really, really helpful. So she's amazing. Definitely 10 out of 10. She's awesome.
Bella is amazing. Shout out to Bella. It was actually her 1 year anniversary with us, work anniversary about a week or two ago.
Fantastic.
She's amazing. And so 12 weeks, right, to get a job, complete career changer with no IT or experience at all. Didn't have any IT knowledge coming into the program?
Yeah, no, I had absolutely nothing. I'm known in the family for being the one that's always asking for help and always asking my partner, his brother, how do I do this? How do I do that? So it was definitely all brand new for me.
And so were you nervous with that, like to make that decision to go, I'm going to commit to something, not only a new career, but a career in cybersecurity? Did you, like a year ago, would you ever think that that'd be possible?
Definitely not. And that's actually really funny you've said that because yeah, I was speaking to my partner thinking, oh my goodness, like where was I last year? Like I never would have thought this would be where I would be. But yeah, there's always some nerves, but I was just really excited, like especially after I had the interview and I met everyone from CyberCX. I was like, oh, okay, they're really supportive and really like honing in on that whole your soft skills are really what we're looking for, and just being yourself, just relax. And yeah, they made me feel really really comfortable, and I really do feel like I have that support. So at this point I'm just like really excited. I can't wait to start.
Yeah. When do you start?
I start on the 26th of July, so a couple of weeks now and we'll be straight into it.
Awesome. That point where you're a bit excited and nervous at the same time usually means you're doing the right thing. It's important to you. And so in regards to committing to your studies and committing to the job placement program and learning new skills as well, were you nervous about doing that? You're like, oh, am I going to be able to, go through the studies?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of went into it thinking, oh yeah, especially the first part, I'll know a good few things about it, like mobile devices and things. I was like, oh yeah, I use a mobile every day, like
Yeah.
I'll smash it. But then you realize there's a bit more, and I was like, oh my goodness, this might be a bit more challenging than anticipated. But like I said, Bella was giving me so many resources. She's always there. You can reach out to her whenever. She's definitely been a really, really big help. And also just the notes on the show notes for all the videos, they were really really helpful as well. And I use the transcripts a lot for the videos, which are really good.
Good. No, it's important. I know you're going to be focusing on the job, which is great. But yeah, continuously lean on Bella and ask for support whilst you're working at CyberSecurity. They're really good too. A lot of our students work for them. Let them know that you're studying. They already know you're studying with us, but let them know that you're doing some study outside of work, and they'll be very supportive. They are a great company. CyberCX are playing a huge role in the cybersecurity industry at the moment. They're bridging the skills gap, but they are also bridging the gender gap that we have in cybersecurity that not too many people talk about. The industry is about 80% males, 20% females at the moment. Okay. But CyberCX have big changes or big plans, to change that. They were part of the all female only cohort that they did a couple of months ago that they started. That was an initiative that no one had ever done before to try and get more females within this amazing industry. So you're now working for a company that is a bit of a front runner. Are you excited about what your career looks like over the next 2 years within a company like that?
Yeah, it's definitely really exciting. And, being in the whole cohort of all the ladies coming through and going through the process with me as well, it was really, really nice to see so many other like women going for this role, especially knowing how big the difference is between the men and the women in the industry. So that was really, really exciting. And, I think it's very easy to get comfortable in a role where you currently are. But, especially being an IT kind of industry, a lot of women I feel are quite dissuaded from that because they think, oh, maybe I'm not going to be good. But like, you only limit yourself if you don't give it a go. And it's so easy to go through. And like I said, you have so much support that it's just easy and it's great. And yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, and I think without getting all Tony Robbins on everyone here, but where the discomfort is where the growth is. Right?
Correct.
Put yourself in those areas where you're like, oh, I don't really know anything here, and I'm going to have to learn and progress and put myself in challenging situations and surround myself with really smart people, a bit out of my depth. That's where you really, really grow. And to your point at the start of this conversation, the reason you left the industry you're in was because you were frustrated with the lack of growth opportunities. Now, I can guarantee you now you're in probably the number one industry at the moment that's going around where career progression, I say this all the time, probably the most exciting thing about cyber. You've just got into your entry-level role now. We speak to students after 6 to 12 months that are already starting then to train on new people that are coming into their organization, or they've gone from a entry level, a tier 1 to a tier 2 SOC analyst in 8 months. My advice to you would be for the next 6 months, head down, really, really immerse yourself into everything CyberCX has to offer. because there's going to be some amazing career opportunities for you over the next 12 to 24 months. So it's exciting, really, really exciting for you.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to it. Like you said, a bit of nerves at the start, but as soon as things start to go, it's like snowball down a hill, right? It just keeps going and you just build momentum, and it just becomes really, really exciting.
Yeah, it is. Now, I want to finish on a question that I ask all of our students, successful students that have landed roles, because this is a part of the reason why we get successful students like yourself on the podcast, is to try and share some insights into some advice or what got you to this position. And now it's a bit of a tricky question to ask, trying to give advice or tips on cybersecurity, right, when you're only just getting into the industry. But that's not really what the question is about. If you could give like your top 3 tips for someone who's listening now and they were in your position as a, in the role where they're feeling frustrated with the career progression, they're not earning enough money, they're, feel like they're just hit a bit of a glass ceiling. What would be the top 3 tips you'd give to somebody who's listening that was in your position 3 months ago, that wants to get into cybersecurity for the first time?
Yeah, so I think probably the first bit of advice, bit of a cliche, but really just give it a go. Like if you really are looking into it, you will be surprised, especially if you are really looking for a change. Like you'll make it work, and you have the support network behind you as well. Cyber Revolution has been nothing but awesome, and you'll definitely be able to get there. If you're thinking about it, just do it. And just be yourself whilst you're doing it as well, especially being lucky enough to get to the face-to-face interview part of the process through CyberCX. They really just want to know you, and like we said earlier, those soft skills, that's really what they're looking for, and they really emphasize that in the interview as well. So just be yourself, give it a go, and I guess as a third piece, maybe just trust yourself. If you're looking into it, a part of you wants to try, and you really should listen to that and give it a go, because you'll be really surprised, and it will definitely pay off. And you'll be working for a really great company, and you have some really good certificates behind you, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that is, like, as you said, it sounds cliche. The first thing that people need to do, like they need to go, okay, I'm not happy with the current state that I'm in. I need to make a change. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who let those nerves and let their anxieties kind of control the decisions that they make. And so nothing's going to change, right? If you feel like that and you're like, oh, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? No, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. And then nothing obviously changes. So just do it is simple, but it is very, very, very important for people to listen to, right? Be yourself. Again, couldn't agree more. And then again, have confidence and trust yourself. I think the biggest thing is that we hear all the time, all of our placement partners, they are not going to grill you about what you've done previously in the cybersecurity industry, or want 2.5 years experience, because they understand that you're new to this role. And so trust yourself and trust the skills that you've built over your previous careers. Like as you said, you've got great communication skills and have done that throughout your other role. And you leverage that within your interview process with CyberCX. So that's 3 really, really good tips. Thanks so much for sharing, Zhara.
Not a problem at all.
Thanks a lot for taking your time out. I know towards the end of the day now as well, and it's a lot of people get a lot of value out of listening to these chats and motivation. So if you are a student out there that's listening and is thinking at the moment, hey, I've only just started my studies, it's not that far away to be able to land your first role. I mean, you've been in the program now for 12 weeks, and you're a living testimonial of that. And so push through. If you're somebody who's listening who potentially might want to jump in and join the program, then obviously jump onto our website, cyberrevolution.com.au, and leave your details there. Someone from the team we'll be in touch with you and have a chat about whether the placement program is for you or not. Zhara, thank you again so much for taking the time out. I've really enjoyed chatting to you. And what we're going to do, I've said this to a lot of students, I know you're just starting your role. Let's pencil in another conversation for 6 months' time and have a chat about your experience in the industry. I think that'll be pretty cool. We can revisit it.
Yeah, fantastic. It'll be really, really interesting to look back on it also. Very exciting. I'll be there.
Thanks, Zhara. Good to talk to you.